everybody. Back to Kelly's Lawn Service, rainy day. So what we have today is another John Deere tractor. This is an oldie. We kind of, I think, accumulated it from some job or something. I don't know. But she still runs. She's old and she's tired, but it's a pretty good machine. So I just did a video not too long ago. I'll put it in the end screens about steering problems on these lawn tractors. So this John Deere also has a steering problem with the front end, but it's different, and it's going to be a different fix from the last video that we did. So we're going to take this one apart, and we're going to show you where the problem is. Excuse me. We'll show you where the problem is on this one. So if you come on over to the front of the machine, we're going to bring the wheels there. You can look at the front wheels, and you can see there's an obvious amount of play in the front wheels. And if you look really close, you can see one wheel's pointing that way and one's pointing that way. And there's a tremendous amount of play in the steering. So the problem on this machine, which is different than the other machine, is these steering bars. As you can see right here, there's a huge amount of play right here, which is causing the play there. So we're going to take this apart, and we're going to show you why it's like that, and we're going to show you a couple of options of how we're going to fix this. All right, so we'll be back. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take the two steering bars off. As you can see, there's a lot of play in this one. So on this John Deere, some have nuts and bolts. This one has a cotter pin. See if we can get to the cotter pin. It's under here. Sorry, my head is in the way. It's just how I roll, you know. Like that. That's why I usually jack it up, just because it's easy to move the wheels back and forth instead of struggling with it on the ground. So we're going to try and pull this cotter pin in the washer. Okay, now if you come over here closer, you can see what has happened to this machine. So this steering bar, there's one on each side, connects to the wheel, has come out, and this is supposed to be a round hole similar to this, but what's happened is this is worn out. So it's actually like an oval shape now, and that's where all the play in the steering is. As you can see, it's really loose like that. So we have a couple options. Number one is we're gonna line up the front wheels so they're perfectly straight. And then we're gonna see where the thing has played. There's actually a lot of play in this too. So we're gonna put that down. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out how to make this hole round again. Either we're gonna put a washer over the top and weld it, and that'll tighten up the steering bar, or we're just gonna weld right inside this hole and then grind it down a little bit, and that will tighten up the steering so it doesn't have this play anymore, so the wheels will go in the same direction. So that's our plan. Now we're going to figure out how we're going to do it, and as we do it, we'll show you the steps. Okay, so we had two ideas on how we were going to fix this. Let me get that off there. I don't know why it's stuck. There it goes. So first idea was we can just weld these washers together, and that way they'll fit through here, and then we could weld it right on here, which gives us a perfectly round circumference for this, so then there won't be any play. But the problem that we come into there is that this steering shaft is only so long, so if we add to the thickness, we're not going to be able to get our cotter pin and our washer back through the bottom. So we're going to scrap the washer idea, And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take the welder and we're gonna weld on the side that needs to be filled in. And then we'll grind it down and then we'll get our thing to fit. And this is a much heavier piece of steel anyway, so I think that's probably a better bet. So that's our plan. So now we're just gonna prep it. We're gonna clean it out so we can get some weld in there. And we'll show you how we do it. We'll be back. That's all. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Prep our area a little bit for some weld. Something else to scuff up the inside a little. I need another toy. Okay, so now I have another smaller die grinder that we can just get a little bit of scuff on the inside. That's one, two here. Go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to line up the front wheels to the back wheels. I had tried to show this in the other video that I'll put the link into. So you kind of put your wheels straight, and then the other video we couldn't do this because the wheels on the tractor were offset, and this one we're going to put here. So now I'm going to need the help from my trusty camera girl just a little bit. She can go around the back. Okay. So first thing you do is you're going to get your wheels relatively straight. Now I took them, I put the tractor back down on the ground so the wheels are in the right position where they're supposed to be, like that. And then you're going to take the other end of this string, Sky. Okay, and you're going to put it straight across these wheels. Touch the wheel. Go in the middle, straight across, and just keep it perfectly thing. So now the back wheels are always pretty set because they don't move. And then what we do is we come over here. Now, if the wheel is out like this, you're going to see a space from here to there. So to get it into the proper position, we're going to bring this right over there. Now, when the string touches each part of the wheel, then you know your wheel is 100% straight, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just take this string, we're gonna go over to the other side, and we're gonna repeat the same exact process. Always start with the back because that's the part that's on. Now, you can see right here, there's a space here. So we're just gonna over to right there. Now, like I said, guys, this is a lawn tractor. We're not on the highway here. You know, it's not like a racetrack, but we want to get it as straight as possible. So it steers easy. Okay, now that I move this, we're just gonna go back over to the other side and see if we knock this one out of whack. So get your back on straight. And over here. Okay. The tiniest bit, and that's pretty good. That's as good as it's gonna get. So as far as lining everything up, like I said, start with your wheel, then you get your thing. Now, we can lose the string. So now what we're gonna do is, we'll be able to see on each side here where we need to add the weld. Does it need to go in the front part of the hole or the back part of the hole to see where the rod is? So this one, the rod's here, we're gonna weld on the back side of the hole. And then on this one here, juggle our wheel a little bit, and it looks to me like both of these are going to be the back side of the hole, because see, these bars are against the front of the hole and against the front of the hole on both sides. So we're going to add weld to the back part so we take up all the slack in here, so it's not wiggling back and forth anymore. And if you are wondering about the other side of these steering rods, the holes on those are good. They're not played out for some reason, only played out here, maybe because this part of the tractor moves more than that part of the tractor. I'm not really sure, but. So now we're gonna add some weld on both sides, grind it down. We're gonna tighten these up, and we'll come back and show you what we have, okay? Okay, so we got our trusty little welder out here. We're gonna get that set up, and if you don't know, you definitely, before you weld on any kind of piece of equipment, whether it's a car equipment, anything like that, you should always disconnect the battery, because it's electric welder, the battery, I don't, you know, I'm not a scientific person, but they say disconnect the battery, so we're going to disconnect the ground on the battery. Let's see if we can get that down. This one's a 10mm. So we'll get our ground off here. It's not. And we'll do that. Okay. So now that we have that disconnected, we're just going to hook up, and we're going to put some weld in there, and we're going to try and line those bars up, and that's what we're doing. Okay. Okay, so basically what we did is, we just added some bead around here to bring some of the metal part back that was worn off. So now we're going to grind that down a little bit. And basically we're going to kind of just retrofit this thing back in. We're going to have to take a couple trial and error things until we get it right. And that's where we're at with that. Safety first. Mm-hmm. Okay. Some different bits in there. We can cut our hole out. The only thing you have to watch when you're drilling, oh my on high. So what we're doing now is we're getting close. We almost have it in here. We're just going to ream it out a little bit, because obviously we don't want it too tight where it's going to be forceful. We want it a little bit loose, but we're going to have to keep going a little bit more. And basically what we're doing is we're just slowly reaming it out, different tools to get it to the right size. So now I'm going to go try and step drill and see how we can. Okay, so now we've got it reamed out, and yeah, I know that you can replace these parts, but this is an old tractor, so we're not going to spend much money on it. We have more time than money right now, so this is why we're doing it this way instead of someone who says, can't you just get a new part? You can, but it's not how we roll. So now we got this in. It's in there, okay? And now it's nice and tight. As you can see, it's moving the way it's supposed to. So we're going to do that. We're going to paint it up, put a new washer, new cotter pin in there, and then we should be good to go. So now we're going to go over and do the other side. We'll come back and we'll make that look pretty. And then I don't think they greased this tractor ever. Let's just say it was handed down several times and maintenance was lacking. As you can see, there's no grease in there at all. And there's grease fittings, but we're going to get that cleaned up too. Okay. Guy's going to work on this other side here. Okay, so another problem we're having here is, as you can see, the shaft has worn out on the inside opposed to where the cotter pin goes through. It's a little fatter on the bottom, so we had to make the hole big enough for the this part to go in. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some welds on the top and around it, and then we're gonna smooth that out on the bench grinder to make it a little bit more of a snug fit. Sorry about that shaky camera work. Okay, so here we go. We did exactly what we said we did. You want to come on over to this side? I'll show you. We added some weld in there. We tightened it up. We added some weld to the bar here also because there was a big groove as I was showing you before. So now we got those in there, and you can see how tight the wheel is. Same on the other side. We threw a little paint on there to make it pretty because there was bare metal. And same thing over here. This one is not as good as the other one. Still, it's pretty good actually. I think now that I have it down straight, it's pretty good. So we're going to put the pins back in, get it cleaned up, and then we'll double check our alignment with the string. We're going to go. We recycle everything here at Kelly's Lawn Service, so we're going to go over to the bench and we're going to fix these cotter pins because why use new ones? So I do the quick fix on the bench. I just stick them in the vise. It really only takes a minute. Now that you're watching, it'll take more than a minute, but you know how that goes. And we put them in there like that, and one like that, and look at that, brand new cotter pin. It'll take a minute. You can use the hammer method also. It's great. You usually smash your hands a couple of times while you're doing it, but you just kind of roll it in the vise. I know cotter pins are cheap, but so am I guess. So here we go. Now we got two brand new cotter. Look at that, nice and new. So let's put these back on the front end. Still on there? Mm-hmm. All right, so we have this is the moment of truth here. Is it gonna fit? Where's the hole? All right, we gotta get that in there. Gotta get this cotter pin. Oh, look at that, right through. Nice and easy. I'm gonna need a pair of pliers to put those in, but we'll pop these two in first, and then once we get it down, we'll come back and we'll do our little alignment thing. We'll be right back. To check the alignment again with the string. So we put our wheel, I mean, there's a little play in this thing, but it's older than both of us. So this guy, we'll grab the back part there. We get our wheel pretty straight. Go ahead, put it against just like before. All right, I'm gonna bring this one here. So, all right, that's on the money right there. Go over to this side. Same thing right here. That one, and look at that. That's pretty much on the money. I think we're ready for the racetrack with this one. All right, we'll be back, guys. Thanks. Okay, so we got the front end pretty much where we want it. Now we're just gonna put some grease into all these fittings because I don't know if it's ever been greased or not. I don't know. It's still kind of played out there, so hopefully the grease will help quiet that down a little bit. And then we should be good with this project. That's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. And like I said, I'll link the other front end video at the end of this video. So thank you.